So that's got the output device done. Now let's go to the input device, the capture device. And you can see here, I've got a few in here already, which are Firewire ones, which we tend to put on every system. There's a couple for HDV, and a couple for standard definition, and one for a microphone. What I need to do is set up a new one for the Blackmagic device. So I'm going to click on New, going to give it a name, so I know what it is, and I'm going to set up one that's 1920 by 1080. 50 interlaced. Now you can click on here and select a different icon for it if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to click on Next and go to set up the device. On the screen you can set up just about everything you need to do for your capture. So from the top, what interface are you capturing through? If I click on this, you can notice I've got a couple here for Firewire. Those are the ones I'd already set up. Then there's Direct Show and Deck Link. With EDIUS 6.5 I would have used this to set up my Blackmagic capture device. Doesn't work now. It's been completely changed and it's been properly integrated, so now you can see the Blackmagic gizmo sitting there in the list. And that should change depending on what you've got installed, like Shuttle or Intensity Pro or whatever. So I'm just going to click on this, and the next thing I'm going to do is come down to video format and decide what size I'm capturing. So I have the DeckLink 4K Extreme in here, which means it can capture at up to 4K, which in this case is 3840 pixels by 2160. Not actually going to do that, I'm going to set something else. So just click on there and I get a list of all my possible options that I've got with this gizmo. Now you'll probably have less on yours. As you can see here, I've got settings that say 8-bit and then 8-bit 3D, and also ones that say 10-bit and then 10-bit 3D. So obviously the 3D ones are if you're trying to capture 3D footage through it. I'm just going to go for an 8-bit setting, and I want one that's 1920, 1080, 50i. So it's just a matter of looking through the list and finding it. There it is, 1920, 1080, 50i. Click on that, and now I should have it set up so I can see a picture coming in through my camera. How do I know it's working? Well, click on Settings, and if it's set up properly, you should see a picture here. Now, I haven't got a picture there. Why not? Well, the first thing is I haven't actually told the Blackmagic device what I'm capturing through, you know, whether it's SDI or component or composite or whatever. And you notice there are no settings for that here. Again, you go to that Blackmagic control panel, which is the thing I put a shortcut to on the taskbar, and you click on that and you set the input through here. And you can see there my input says it's from SDI. So it's expecting everything through SDI, and I'm not. I'm actually plugged in through HDMI. That's probably why I can't see anything. So let's just click on that and see all the possible options. You've got SDI video, and then the audio coming through any of the different holes I've got on this device. So you could have analog audio and SDI video. You've got the same for HDMI, so audio and video both through HDMI or the analog or the AES connections. And then you've got component with different settings for the audio, then composite, and then S-video. So obviously you choose what matches the source that you've got plugged in. Mine is HDMI video and HDMI audio. Apply it, and yay, I've got a picture. Hello! Get out of that now, and I know I'm ready to actually capture some footage. If you're not seeing a picture here and you've got all the other settings correct inside of EDIUS, then you probably haven't got it plugged in properly. Most of the connections on the back of the cards, the SDIs and the HDMIs, aren't actually labelled, and I'm forever plugging them into the wrong ones. So there's a very simple way to find out which is which. Read the instructions. If you go to where you downloaded the drivers, you'll have a driver disk with it, but frankly just go to the Blackmagic website and download the latest ones, because they are updating them every few weeks or so, so it's always worth checking the latest ones. And when you've downloaded them, go to wherever you unzip the files, and you'll see there's your installer, this MSI file, and then you've got two PDFs. That one relates to a thing called an H.264 recorder, which is not a gizmo that you'll capture with inside of EDIUS. So just go to this manual and have a look at it. And you've got lots of information in there which talks about lots of the different things that I've been explaining, how to set it up in your different editing softwares. The drivers I'm looking at the moment don't include how to set it up in EDIUS 7, since I'm recording this about 5 days after EDIUS 7 has been released. But they do near the end include little diagrams showing you all the connections. So things like, oh, there's the Intensity Pro, that tells you that one's the output, that one's the input. I make sure I have access to that all the time because I do simply forget. When I'm moving machines around, I forget which is which. Well, hey, read the manual. Who'd have thought reading the manual would teach you something? Obviously you can set different settings for all of them. What I tend to do is I'll set up a different capture preset for the different sizes I'm likely to use. So, you know, one for high def, one for standard def, maybe one for 720p. You can always change them, but it's quite nice to have a few set up with the basic ones on it.